Hey everybody, Davey here from Davey's World Fishing. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're actually going to replace the splash guard on my drive system from my Riot Mako 12 kayak. Stay tuned. So this is a project I haven't actually done before on any of my kayaks. This whole thing came about as I was doing a review video after I had been fishing this kayak for a little while. And the kayak company actually reached out to me because they saw that I had duct taped around the system here. I cracked this real early when I first got this kayak. I taped it up, didn't think much of it. It's actually a pretty cool thing that this kayak company uses, having this clear section here. If you can see that that's clear. So when you're looking down, you put your drive system in, you're looking down, you can actually see if any weeds are caught up in your propeller, and you can actually line up your propeller as you want to pull the drive system out when you're coming back to the beach. It's a really nice clear system. It's a little bit thin on the plastic, but the neat thing is the kayak company was actually watching the video, they saw it, and they reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to replace that? I said, heck yeah, let's send it, let's do it. So they sent me one. They sent me a brand new piece here. I'm gonna replace that out. So I've never done it before. Let's try it, can't be that difficult. So as I mentioned, I had just been using some duct tape on here. Let me untape it. You know, it did the job for the last, what, year and a half, 2 years, I guess, already on this thing. Like I said, I cracked it almost right out of the gate when I got this kayak. You can kind of see it there. You can see how it's split right down the side there. Nothing tragic. Even if this thing wasn't here, it would, you know, it doesn't hurt the working of the kayak in any way. It, you know, it'd keep water from splashing up into the cockpit. Not that it's going to create a lot of splash through here, but, you know, gonna fix it, might as well, right? So let's do it. First thing it's got, you know, they sent me the new system here. It looks like it's pretty close to the same. They may have thickened it up a little bit, but the system looks basically the same. So it's just a wrench and then an Allen wrench. So I went ahead and pre-measured that, but this side over here has got the Allen wrench. I'll go ahead and line that up. And on that side is the nut. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. Let's take this thing apart and see what we can do. It's not the easiest thing to get to here. Just a socket set probably would have been the easiest, but once you can line up your wrench there, just kind of untwist that. Looks like it's got some Loctite on it. At least the new one's already got some Loctite, so that'll secure that in there nicely. Once you get it loose, piece of cake, nuts out. See if we can get the bolt out of there. It's got a little washer. There you go, there's your old piece. As you can see, the crack right through the plastic there, nice and split. This new one actually does look a little bit thicker. I don't know if you can see that there. That's you know, being clear, of course, is probably going to be a little harder, but you can see maybe even in the material here, this looks pretty thin. This actually looks quite a bit thicker. That's a good thing to say. Yeah, I'm excited. Actually, doesn't feel as flimsy as the original one does. So let's get that thing mounted. Let's see what we can do. All right, so one thing I noticed right away is there's actually 3 holes drilled in the side there. So you can see there's actually 3 different depths. Maybe if you're getting some water splash, you want to make an adjustment. That's a good little adjustment point there. I'm gonna put it right back in the middle one. That's the one it came out of. I wasn't getting any splash with it, so that seemed to work out pretty well. But let's get this dude lined up. Thread that nut back through there. Tight tolerances, that's for sure. All right, so far I gotta say this has not been not the easiest. The lines aren't exactly, the holes aren't exactly lining up. I was even struggling just getting the Allen wrench to go through. But I was able to get it through, so that does show that they are somewhat lined up. Boy, that's tight. Let's work that screw through there and get this thing mounted and move on. Holy moly, I've almost had to resort to violence on this thing. So the tolerance is super tight. I almost got out the drill and had to re-drill some holes in this thing. I had to come in from the other side. I had to try to widen out those holes a little bit with the Allen wrench itself. But after some serious manhandling here, I was able to actually get the bolt through the other side. That was definitely not easy. But let's finish this thing up here. I was able to get it through, which is that's something, right? We'll get this locked in. We'll put that washer back on there. As I mentioned, there's already some Loctite on that screw, or at least there was when I started that little project there. I can still feel that's pretty tight, so that's good. But we'll get that locked in, and we'll finish it up. One day we'll be kayaking again. I'm excited. Not that it was splashing before, but this will definitely help. Like I said, this clear thing is actually really brilliant. You can see all of the weeds that might be caught up in your blades. You can also line up your blades when you're pulling your drive out of the hole there to really get going. Give it a couple more cranks and we're done. Whew, it's one of those projects that make you sweat. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to be kayak fishing. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun, darn it. All right, there we have it. It's in. If you can see it there, both sides. Still was able to make it through that middle hole there. It took a little bit longer than I wanted to, but it is fixed and replaced. It was awesome that those guys send that out to me. That's Kayak Distribution. They're actually out of Canada. As I mentioned, they saw my video. They saw that it was already cracked. They reached out to me, and I was able to replace it. Though it wasn't too bad, although it took, I think, a little bit longer than it should have. But we got it done. Everything is good there. But I do appreciate y'all checking in. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below and subscribe to Davey's World Fishing up in that right-hand corner. We'll be back out on the water soon. It's 60 to 70 mile an hour gusts of winds outside tonight and tomorrow. Middle of January, Santa Ana winds. You gotta love it. No kayaking this weekend. See y'all soon.